This is News Channel 8 at 5 on your side.
Good evening, I'm Jennifer Lee.
And I'm Ty Russell. Thank you for joining us. It has been nearly 3 months since Hurricane Milton slammed into the Bay Area. And now some beach residents say the permitting process to demolish or rebuild a home is a red tape nightmare.
It certainly is for them. Today, residents in the city of Madeira Beach got the chance to get some in-person answers to their permitting problems. But not everyone came away with the solutions they were hoping for. News Channel 8's Jeff Patterson is in Madeira Beach tonight with the story of their frustrations, and there are many of them.
Good evening, Jen and Ty. We'll take a look at this home, damaged and vacant since our recent hurricanes. And there are many homes like this one in this Madeira Beach neighborhood just sitting there. And people who live in Madeira Beach tell me that getting the needed permits to rebuild, repair, or tear down isn't easy. So the process has become incredibly frustrating for a lot of people, so much so that today we heard from several people that one man had to be escorted out of City Hall by police because his frustrations boiled over. You can kind of understand that given how long it's been since our recent storms. Back to you guys.
No question about it. It's their homes, their livelihoods. Do people have any idea about the timeline, how long it will take to get these permits?
No, and that's part of the frustration, Jen, is that they don't know what the timeline is. They don't know how long it will be before they can get a permit. And imagine having a home like this. It looks like nobody's been here since the hurricanes. It's sitting just completely vacant, completely damaged, and yet they can't move forward with their lives.
So unfortunate. We'll stay on it. Jeff Patterson, live for us in Madeira Beach tonight. Thank you, Jeff.
Both Tampa Electric and Florida Power and Light are looking to increase utility bills in the new year. News Channel 8's Marilyn Parker joins us now live in Tampa. And Marilyn, how much more will customers be paying, and why is this all happening?
Well, if you're an FPL customer, you could see about a $12 increase. TECO customers, a $30 increase. Now, I'm sure we all can appreciate just how fast these companies work to restore power after those hurricanes, but it comes at a cost. And that explains where some of those increased funds would be going to. Coming up, we're going to have more details and more reasons as to why they're talking about these increases from both companies and get reaction from customers. Ty?
And Marilyn, as you can imagine, a lot of people are still recovering financially from these storms. So are there any programs that can help them out with the cost of all of this?
Well, TECO is contributing $1 million to their share program, and it's going to give direct relief to those customers for their bills. And FPL has a very similar program, and it's called Care to Share, that'll help with the bills as well. We're going to put information on those resources on our website, WFLA.com.
That will definitely help a lot of people out. Marilyn Parker, live in Tampa tonight. Thank you.
Tonight, police say a complicated love triangle led to an attempted murder. The shooting happened yesterday evening in the area of Tennessee Street, which is just off US 17 in Haines City. Investigators say Jervin Mendieta Romero had been threatening his partner of more than 20 years after they separated. They say yesterday he climbed through a window and shot his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend several times. Mendieta Romero also shot off his own ring finger, according to police, who eventually tracked him down in the woods nearby. The Bay Area got off to a foggy start this morning. Check out this video shot along Ashley Drive in Tampa, downtown. If you looked up, you couldn't see the tops of all the buildings because of all of that fog.
That was a lot. Meteorologist Rebecca Berry joins us now.
And unfortunately, we're in for another foggy night tonight into early tomorrow morning, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be in this foggy pattern until the next front arrives and brings some drier air. This is an hour-by-hour look at your visibility forecast. And so what's going to happen this evening is as soon as the sun starts to set and we get cooler, the visibilities will start to go down along the coastline because there's a bank of sea fog sitting out there that will start to creep inland. So we'll see the fog creeping inland throughout the overnight hours. This is 11 o'clock tonight, and we have widespread visibilities of half a mile or less. That's why there's already a dense fog advisory for tonight into early tomorrow morning. The fog continues inland during the overnight hours, and by 7, 8 o'clock, we're starting to see things getting a little bit better along the coastline initially and eventually over our inland areas. But it does take until about 8:30, 9:30 for that fog to completely clear out. And in the meantime, it'll look awfully cloudy out there to start off with, but we'll end up with some sunshine tomorrow, just like today. Check it out. We're sitting at 75 degrees in Sarasota, nice and warm across the entire area. We are going to cool slowly this evening. Here's the next front that will eventually bring us some drier air tomorrow night in the middle of the night and start to limit our fog. But for tonight, we're in for that fog and we're in for cool temperatures to start off with, working our way into the mid to low 60s overnight tonight.
I'm 80-year side consumer investigator Shannon Bankin. The Federal Consumer Protection Bureau has sued Zelle and 3 major banks. Coming up, I'll show you what this lawsuit alleges.
Peacock.
Today's time and temperature brought to you by Tradewinds Resort.
Eagle 8 HD coverage is brought to you by your Suncoast Hyundai dealers. Visit your local dealer today or shop buyhyundai.com.
The popular peer-to-peer payment platform Zelle and 3 of the nation's largest banks have been sued by the federal government over alleged widespread fraud payments through Zelle.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau claims in its lawsuit that Americans have lost hundreds of millions of dollars due to poor safeguards in the app. Consumer investigator Shannon Bankin is here in the studio with us tonight with more on that story. Shannon.
Hi, Jim. For years, I've heard from consumers who say crooks used Zelle to steal their money. This lawsuit seeks accountability, but Zelle representatives say that this will actually hurt consumers. The federal watchdog agency claims customers of these 3 banks named in the lawsuit have lost more than $870 million over the 7 years since Zelle was introduced. I reached out to Zelle, and a spokesperson called that number misleading and said that many reported fraud claims are not found to actually involve fraud after they are thoroughly investigated.
Okay, but let's talk about this lawsuit. What is the lawsuit actually seeking?
Well, I looked through it today, and the Consumer Protection Bureau says that it seeks to halt what it calls unlawful conduct, obtain compensation for harmed consumers, and obtain a civil penalty to be paid to the Victims Relief Fund. I know there's a lot of victims that I've heard from for many years that are probably hopeful that maybe this will help them get some of that money back.
And settle it once and for all so that it's safer for folks to use.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shannon. And if you have a problem that needs solving, better call Bankin. The number is 1-855-BANKIN, or you can reach her on Facebook at WFLA Shannon.
Max Defender 8, the most accurate weather radar in Florida.
Taking a look over Crystal River right now, you can see some clouds off in the distance, and sea fog will be a big factor tonight, moving in from the Gulf over our coastal areas. But right now, it's shaping up really nicely. We're sitting in the low 70s, and this is one of our cooler locations. Most of us still in the upper 70s, even some low 80s over some of our inland areas. We've got quiet conditions on Max Defender 8. This isn't rain, it's just some temperature differences. The radar's mostly dry with a mild evening temperature. Even as we head past 8 o'clock, we're on the cloudier side, starting to see some of that sea fog creep in. Very light breeze. We were initially starting with clear skies, but with the fog building in, it ends up with those more overcast skies. And so this evening we get the fog building in. We have an isolated chance for an inland shower or 2 that doesn't seem to be materializing on Max Defender 8. By 10 o'clock, the sea fog is creeping in. Our temperatures are cooling down. When we have really heavy fog, this is what the forecast model shows, these very light areas of rain. That's just the heavy fog it's picking up on. But as our fog does start to mix out tomorrow morning and starting to lift, we may see some light sprinkles around the area. We'll see skies clearing between 8 and 9:30. By 10 o'clock, a lot of us are looking at mostly cloudy skies, but even those clouds clear out a little bit during the day, and we end up with partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, there's a 20% chance for a stray shower. So this is New Year's Eve around the noon hour. We're in the mid to upper 70s, very similar to the temperatures we saw this afternoon around noon. And we climb up into those upper 70s, maybe even some low 80s over those inland areas. Still not much of a threat of rain. This is 3 o'clock. As we head past sunset, temperatures will start to cool into the 60s. Unfortunately, we'll be a little fog prone across the Nature Coast tomorrow morning, tomorrow night into early Wednesday morning. Here's how it looks at midnight. Of course, the midnight forecast matters more than it does any other day of the year as we're headed into Tuesday night into Wednesday morning because of fireworks. Looking like the front is actually starting to push through our area by midnight, and so we'll have clouds to the south of I-4 and more clear skies to the north of I-4, and cooler temperatures for the first day of 2025, waking up in the 50s along the Nature Coast and low 60s to the south of I-4. And and we only make it into the mid to upper 60s. So about 10 degrees cooler on Wednesday at noon than we saw Tuesday at noon. And so about a 10-degree difference there, getting even cooler Wednesday night, heading into Thursday morning. And we're going to stay dry. There's only the 20% chance for a stray shower tomorrow right in the middle of the day, and then staying dry as we head through the work week and into the weekend. Here's how it looks. We've got that 20% chance for showers on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day is cooler and eventually sunny. As we head into Thursday, it's a little on the cloudy side and cool in the upper 60s, and a secondary front's pushing through and clearing us out and turning us cold as we head into the weekend. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s on Saturday and Sunday morning, and only topping out of the 60s, making Saturday the chilliest day of the next 8. Right now it's 5:20. Time for tomorrow's traffic tonight.
All right, we're kicking off another week, and by the end of it, we'll be in a new year. I'm Beth Russo, in for Deanne King with tomorrow's traffic tonight. Not a ton of construction that's going to be happening in the coming days because we are headed towards that New Year's holiday. But tonight, there are going to be lane closures on I-75 right near MLK Jr. Boulevard. If you take this route normally, you know that there's a whole lot of work and construction happening in that interchange, and there has been for a while. So you're going to see lane closures on I-75 north and southbound tonight from 9 p.m. until 5 a.m. is when those crews are going to be out there. And then again, they're going to have those same closures happening Thursday to Saturday. So just keep this in mind. Give yourself extra time if you are headed through that area. Again, I-75 lanes will be closed in some portions during some periods of time right at MLK Jr. Boulevard. Again, tonight, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. And those closures will happen again Thursday to Saturday as well. I'm Beth Russo with tomorrow's traffic tonight.
Nobody wants to admit they're getting a little hard of hearing.
But there could be a solution that's already in your pocket. Still ahead, we'll take a look at how your AirPods could give your ears a boost. Coming up next.
Max Defender 8, the most accurate weather radar in Florida.
Maybe you're having a little trouble hearing people or the television.
It's probably a good idea to head to the doctor, but if you have AirPods, you might get a little help from their new hearing aid feature. Rich DeMuro shows us how it works.
America's immigration policies will soon be changing.
President-elect Donald Trump has made that clear, but when it comes to temporary work visas, the politics gets tricky. Still ahead, the divide that's forming in the GOP over what should become of those foreign workers. And also ahead at 5:30.
Could another port strike be on the horizon? I'm investigator Brittany Muller, and coming up, I'll tell you how another strike could impact you and your family.
Hey, we are joining you from Ybor City, where the ReliaQuest Bowl Parade is set to kick off. Coming up, more on the parade route and when it starts.
Everyone's morning starts a little differently.
Our starts with today's news.
For Amanda, it's preparing you for the day's weather.
And Deanne's getting you through your commute.
No matter how you start your morning.
Wake up with us weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m.
In the ever-changing world of weather, accuracy is everything. Max Defender 8 is the most accurate weather radar in Florida, so you'll know exactly when severe weather is heading your way. Max Defender 8, only on NewsChannel 8, on your side. Live, this is NewsChannel 8 at 5:30, on your side.
Remember the strike that crippled ports up and down the East Coast and the Gulf? Well, they didn't solve it, they just pushed pause. Now the dock worker strike is set to resume on January 16th. Good evening, I'm Ty Russell.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us tonight. Back in October, the International Longshoremen's Association went on strike for 3 days.
It temporarily paralyzed 36 ports along the East and Gulf coasts. Those ports, including the Port of Tampa Bay, reopened days after a tentative deal was reached. 8 on your side, investigator Brittany Muller joins us now here in the studio. And Brittany, that deal only goes until January 15th.
Hi, Jen, that's exactly right. The underlying issues still remain, and it could cause some major implications across the country, the state, and here locally in Tampa Bay in the matter of weeks. Again, the deadline is on January 15th for both sides to reach an agreement. If not, another strike could happen on the 16th.
And Brittany, I know many businesses in the state of Florida are closely watching this. I remember Governor Ron DeSantis, he deployed the Florida National Guard when this strike was happening back then. So how are others weighing in?
Right. Just a few weeks ago, President-elect Donald Trump shared his support for the ILA union workers. So we're going to be monitoring this very closely to see how this all plays out.
Yes, indeed, we will.
Still a couple of weeks, though, for them to try to iron out a deal if it's possible.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Brittany. If you have something you want Brittany to investigate, call our 8 on your side helpline at 1-800-338-0808.
have a few clouds. We also have mainly clear skies above those few clouds. Both of those will change, unfortunately. We're going to see fog building in tonight, initially from the coastline where we have some sea fog and eventually over inland areas. These temperatures will cool down about 10 degrees overnight tonight. So we're going to work our way into those mid to low 60s overnight. And we're going to be in this quiet, somewhat fog prone pattern until this dry cold front arrives. See how there are no showers in front of it? There's just not enough moisture to support that. But the dry cold front will push through late tomorrow night into early on Wednesday morning, and that'll kick us out of this foggy pattern. As far as temperatures go tonight, cooling down slowly, getting a little cloudier as that fog builds in. Light breeze out there, otherwise pretty humid night, working our way down into the mid to low 60s. We'll wake up in the upper 50s in Crystal River. They're the coolest, with low 60s in Brooksville and Newport Richey, mid 60s in Wesley Chapel, Tampa, all the way down to Sarasota. So widespread mid 60s out there tomorrow morning. Let's walk you through your visibility forecast hour by hour by 11 o'clock tonight. A lot of areas seeing half-mile or less visibility as sea fog builds in from the coastline and spread in Newport Richey and Tampa. We've still got reduced visibilities in Lakeland, Bartow, and Winter Haven at that point, eventually clearing out by about 9:30 tomorrow morning. The temperatures will warm up nicely tomorrow, but not so much the rest of the week. We'll take a look at how chilly it's going to get coming up.
And Rebecca, football fans from across the country are in Tampa Bay this week for the ReliaQuest Bowl.
The game between Alabama and Michigan is tomorrow, but fans are already getting pumped up. News Channel 8's Brianna Villegas is in Ybor City tonight, where the parade, you can hear it, it just started. Hey, Brianna.
Yeah, we are finally getting...
Hey, guys, my goodness, the party has officially kicked off. You can see that there are so many fans out here. Michigan fans, Alabama fans, are we ready? Crowd, everyone. This is going to be a really exciting parade. Well, thank you so much, Blake. I know that there's a whole lot more to be excited about. Tomorrow is the big game. It starts at noon. And again, who's winning tomorrow, guys? Michigan! I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Brianna Villegas live for us in Ybor City. Thank you, ma'am.
And like Brianna just said, it will be another big day at Raymond James Stadium tomorrow at the ReliaQuest Bowl.
News Channel 8's Eileen Natchik spoke with the head coaches of both teams that are playing in the bowl game, and tonight she has a preview of that matchup. America's immigration policies are complicated.
The Trump administration wants to deport those here illegally. But what about the people with temporary work visas? Still ahead, we take a look at how the issue is creating a divide among Republicans.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, report it by sending in your photos and videos. Scan the QR code or visit WFLA.com/reportit. Eagle 8 HD coverage is brought to you by your Suncoast Hyundai dealers. Visit your local dealer today or shop buyhyundai.com.
Well, the holidays are just about over, and your credit card statement is probably on the way. If you spent too much over the holidays, take a little comfort in knowing you are not alone. According to the National Retail Federation, between November 1st and December 31st, spending is on track to reach a record just under $1 trillion. And heading into the peak holiday shopping season, credit card balances were already 8.1% higher compared to last year. President Biden is sending billions of dollars more to Ukraine. The White House just announced another $2.5 billion in security assistance for the war-torn country. Biden is pushing to get as much money to Ukraine as possible before he leaves office in January. The U.S. has provided more than $60 billion in aid to Ukraine since Russia invaded the country nearly 3 years ago. President-elect Trump is siding with his Doge chiefs, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who are in favor of H-1B temporary worker visas.
But some say those visas are taking jobs away from American citizens. News Nation's Tom Dempsey has more from Washington.
Max Defender 8, the most accurate weather radar in Florida.
This is not a great day to drive over the mountains near Salt Lake City. Take a look at this video from the Utah Department of Transportation headed through the Cottonwood Canyons. They say traction laws are in effect, meaning you have to have chains. They say there were multiple slide-offs along the highway at higher elevations. That looks like a nightmare. Totally different scene that we're looking at over St. Pete Beach. Where the sun has just set. We can see through some of the reflections on the water there. There's some sea fog already out there headed our way. And so sometimes sea fog doesn't actually clear out over the Gulf because the temperatures are so consistent during the day. And so as soon as our temperatures start to cool down, that sea fog will start to creep on shore and it'll reduce visibilities to half mile or less for most of tonight and early tomorrow morning. We're going to be in a quiet fog-prone pattern until this front moves through early on Wednesday morning. And so we still have a foggy night to get through tonight and some fog even tomorrow night before the front actually arrives. As far as the cool down goes, we're in the 70s through about 6 o'clock. And then by 7 o'clock, we slip into those upper 60s. We continue that cool down into the mid 60s, becoming increasingly more fog prone the cooler that we get. We're in for a mainly dry day tomorrow. There's only a 20% chance for showers. After a foggy start, we'll eventually see some sunshine. By about 10 or 11 o'clock during the morning hours, we'll see the sun peeking between the clouds, and it gets increasingly sunnier during the afternoon hours. There's that 20% chance for a stray shower or two. Most of us not going to see any rain, and temperatures so comfortable, making it into those upper 70s, even some low 80s out there. The front moves through late, so I wanted to stop it at midnight because, of course, it's New Year's Eve tomorrow night, moving into Wednesday morning. So this is how it looks at midnight. I'm seeing a little hint of a sea fog along the Nature Coast. That could be an issue for fireworks, but it's not widespread. We do have some clouds across our southern zones. The front is taking its sweet time, pushing through late tomorrow night into early Wednesday morning. Once the front passes, we're in for cooler, drier air and more clear skies pushing in. And so it will be a cooler day for the first day of 2025, only spending most of the day in the upper 60s, only hitting 70 degrees briefly for an afternoon high. A reinforcing cold front, this one's dry, moves through early Thursday afternoon, and it brings much cooler air and some clouds out ahead of it. And so it's cloudy and chilly on Friday, and then we see even colder weather headed our way on Saturday despite the sunshine. In fact, the coldest day of the next forecastable future, which is the 8-day forecast, of course, is going to be Saturday. We're only going to top out at 63. So certainly cooler weather ahead, but not tonight. We're headed down to 66 tonight, well above our average of 54. We're waking up at 58 on the first day of 2025 on Wednesday, and then it's all about the 40s for the rest of the week and into the weekend, at least to start things off with. By next week, we're waking up in the 50s again. Afternoon highs nice and comfortable tomorrow, hitting 77, barely hitting 70 on Wednesday, failing to hit the 70s on Thursday, and barely hitting 70 on Friday as that reinforcing cold front pushes through. And that gives us Saturday, which we only top out at 62. Sunday, we make it up to 68, and then we're barely in those upper 70s, upper 60s and low 70s on Monday and Tuesday as well. So your forecast is a little on the muggy side tomorrow as that dry front pushes through. That lowers our humidity for the rest of the week and into next week as well. Here's how your 8-day forecast looks. New Year's Eve, 20% chance for a stray shower right in the middle of the day. And then we've got the front pushing through early on New Year's Day. That starts to clear our skies out and holds us mainly in the 60s, briefly hitting 70 for an afternoon high. And then for the rest of the week, it's all about turning cooler and cooler and cooler until we hit Saturday, the chilliest day, waking up at 47, only hitting 62 for an afternoon high, and not much warmer on Sunday.
And News Channel 8 is your official Bucs station, and the Bucs faced a must-win situation on Sunday and rolled over the Carolina Panthers 48-14.
Now the Bucs will win the NFC South if they can just beat the New Orleans Saints this week. Dan Lucas joins us after his weekly interview with head coach Todd Bowles.
Yeah, this is what the Bucs wanted, a chance to control their own destiny. They've got that, thanks in part to the Washington Commanders beating the Atlanta Falcons last night. Nothing better than layman's terms. Hey, coach.
Yeah.
I don't know what you said at halftime, but it worked.
Yeah.
A shutout in the second
lit
half.
a fire.
Absolutely.
48-14.
So, yeah, there is a scenario. If the Bucs lose on Sunday, they would need the Falcons to lose as well. Atlanta plays Carolina on Sunday at the same time as the Bucs. So.
And the Bucs got some help from the Duck.
The Duck is well, the Washington Huskies players on the team took issue with the Duck. For some reason, they just don't like ducks. Why is that? Why is that? Yeah, exactly.
Dan the man, thank you so much.
Thank you.
In the Rockies, sometimes those rocks roll downhill.
A stunning moment over the weekend was caught on camera. Still ahead, what the people who witnessed this rock slide are saying about the experience.
A great morning. Doing what I love, where I grew up, it means the world to me. I didn't always know my career path. I studied engineering, and I always wanted to be an astronaut. But then I discovered meteorology. It took a lot of hard but rewarding work. The biggest thing we're concerned about during the last 5 years here at News Channel 8, I've tracked some intense weather. And as your morning meteorologist, I promise to deliver an accurate forecast you can trust.
Amanda Holly joins Avery, Chris, and Deanne on News Channel 8 today.
Last night, a road in Colorado had to close because the mountain right next to it collapsed onto the highway.
And that wild moment was caught on camera. Now, this happened in Custer County, Colorado, west of Pueblo, where two state highways meet. Oh, my goodness, look at that. One family says they were getting ready to go through that intersection, but thankfully, they narrowly missed the rock slide.
And it was kind of scary for a second. There was a point where we were maybe a little too close, but it was crazy.
Just thankful that nobody got hurt and we were able to direct everybody around there and get the road closed when we did. And it's a blessing nobody got hurt.
Indeed it is. They ended up staying at the scene to help out for a couple of hours. But again, they say no one was hurt. It's always scary.
It's very scary, my goodness.
And I used to live in a mountainous community, and I was always like, oh, please don't fall on me.
That's just a new nightmare to consider.
My goodness.
Well, News Channel 8 at 6 is coming up next.
And here's a look at what we're working on.
Amazing Your Sight consumer investigator Shannon Bankin, the Federal Consumer Protection Bureau has sued Zelle and 3 major banks. Coming up, I'll show you what this lawsuit alleges.
I'm Jeff Patterson in Madeira Beach, where many homes damaged by hurricanes still sit vacant without work going on. Coming up, we'll tell you about residents' growing frustration over the permitting process so they can move forward.